Hi, welcome to What the Flick. I'm Christy, this is Alonzo. It's January, and strangely that means you get a big bombastic Michael Bay movie, which seems like summer fare.
Oh,
right?
but this is, this is the capital I important Michael Bay movie.
We're the thinking man's Michael Bay movie because it's about Benghazi. So Alonzo's going to describe to you 13 Hours.
So, yeah, Benghazi, perhaps you've heard of it. There was a whole thing on September 11th, 2012, where a compound was stormed in Libya, in Benghazi, Libya, that housed Ambassador Christopher Stevens, and things did not go well, and many fingers were pointed, and many people have tried to make political hay out of it, and now Michael Bay has made action movie hay out of it. Take a look.
We need immediate assistance. We are overrun.
State's under attack. Let's go, man. State's under attack.
Let's go. We gotta move. If you do not get here soon, we are all gonna die.
You have a U.S. ambassador at risk.
The ambassador is in his safe haven. You're not the first responders. You're the last resort. You will wait.
None of you have to go. But we are the only help they have.
So I feel so conflicted about this movie. I mean, it's terrible, don't get me wrong, but from a production standpoint, it's like his most polished and his most accomplished.
It is, there's a surprising amount of visual coherence for a good long chunk of this movie. I was amazed that I could follow what was going on. And
it looked great.
And it looked good.
Yeah.
And it wasn't confusingly edited. And it wasn't until really later when things start exploding that it suddenly turns into like, Michael Bay, massive pixels.
Right, and you and I were talking about this a little bit walking out. Like, do you think some of that, I'm gonna give him a benefit of the doubt here, is some of that intentional to suggest the fog of war?
I suppose, yes. Okay. I mean, a case could be made. And I think that coming from another filmmaker, I'd be more inclined to give him a pass. But since it's Michael Bay and his default setting seems to be like visual cacophony.
Chaos.
Yeah, then I don't think he gets to play that card now, I mean, I will say I was expecting worse.
Okay.
Because I did not put it past Bay to have some scene of like, I don't know, Hillary Clinton watching a live feed and doing shots or some crazy like Fox
Right.
News fantasy version of what Benghazi was.
Right, we should mention that the name Hillary Clinton is not mentioned
Nope.
a time.
No,
not
no,
a
no,
single
no.
time.
There is ostensibly an attempt to be nonpartisan about this because like they mentioned that that there have been budget cuts to embassy security, which there were from a Republican-led Congress, so there was, I'm sure there's plenty of blame to go around. What the movie weirdly does though is basically says that the heroes of this movie, the six veterans who were private contractors who were actually protecting the hidden CIA base down the street. They were smart and brave and kind and true and just and perfect.
And funny, so funny.
And everybody else is an idiot.
Yeah.
All the pointy-headed Ivy League CIA people and the government people and every other person. So it starts feeling like a kind of CYA document of like, well, we did our job.
We called in for air support.
Yeah, y'all all fucked it up. And that might well be the case.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, they probably felt that way in the moment. They
Sure.
probably felt like completely overwhelmed and no one's helping us.
Absolutely, but the way that the movie is told, and because Bay is such a ham-fisted storyteller, it comes out rather cartoonish in that, I mean, these guys, literally every single one of them is like so nice and so capable and such a good dad
Right,
and
they all
all
have
this,
kids, right.
or dogs or something, and it just, and again, maybe that's true, but it's not conveyed in a way that doesn't make this feel like it's just propaganda to prop up these guys' version of the story at the expense of every other person involved in this incident.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of nuance to their characters. And there's not a whole lot of nuance at all, which again should not be that surprising given that it's Michael Bay. But it felt really one note, like the bombast and the noise and just the incessant barrage of gunfire and explosions was numbing after a while. And again, maybe that's his point. I don't know. I would think he is trying to inspire us. I think he's trying to thrill and inspire and provoke patriotism and appreciation for the bravery and the sacrifice and whatever.
Well,
no, sorry.
I
I was gonna say, but I was like, dozing, on the verge of dozing. No, seriously, it's like a big ass noisy Michael Bay movie,
Well-
but it's so like blanketing and noisy sameness that it lulls you.
Well, it's kind of a zombie movie because because the Libyans, there are times where you're not even sure what point the movie's trying to make. Like the characters in the film, including the contractors, can't distinguish the good guys from the bad guys. And the movie never kind of calls itself on the fact that like that's sort of American foreign policy in a nutshell, where we go into these countries and we arm one side and we don't arm the other side or whatever, and then later when things get confusing, we don't know who we're supposed to be turning to or who the allies are, and we haven't bothered to like learn the niceties, The movie literally has at some point, one of the contractors telling this Libyan guy who's a translator and who's helping out and staying inside the compound, your country needs to get your act together or whatever. It's like, fuck you.
Good luck.
Maybe you should not be here. How about that?
And yeah, every person who is brown is bad.
Except for that one
guy.
guy.
The guy from The Separation. I'm blanking on his name.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yes. So says IMDb.
Okay. I learned my lesson with Lone Survivor, which is a movie that I thought was a brilliant anti-war drama, and then I discovered nobody else thought that way. So you could, what you were saying before about how the numbingness of it and the cacophony, that you could read this as a statement about how war is bloody and messy and futile and whatever else, but I doubt that's how it was intended.
Right, it's a Michael Bay movie. I mean, it does have its slow motion running like. At no point is there an American flag blowing in slow motion in the breeze, but there are like lovely sunsets.
There is.
Oh, is there?
Remember, they shoot at the American flag at the ambassador's
when they
house.
invade the ambassador's compound. They do shoot the flag.
And it's what I came away with was that there's no chapter of American foreign policy so tragic that we can't turn it into this like guns and ammo wet dream, basically.
Melodrama goop.
Yeah, but you've got James Badge Dale and John Krasinski and the other guy from The Office, the one who didn't marry Pam, I forget his name. He played Boone.
Oh yeah, he's the one who was reading some sort of.
He's reading Joseph Campbell.
Oh yeah.
And a line they keep quoting throughout about how heaven and hell
are all within us.
And Dave turned to me and goes, "That's an atheism line they keep repeating in this movie."
But we're going to misappropriate it for our purposes.
Exactly.
Yay. As we mentioned, a couple of them, James Badge Dale and the guy who plays Oz, Max Martini, begin to look a lot alike.
A bit, yeah.
They're kind of like big and furry. They both look kind of alike. And some gnarly stuff does indeed happen in the name of patriotism.
And this is one of the most homoerotic like major studio movies I think I've seen since Fight Club.
Okay.
If not Top Gun. I mean, literally, there are scenes where these guys are taking their shirts off and like before shit goes down, where they're either like they're baring their torsos or they're working out or whatever, and it's like, this is not part of the story. Why are we seeing
Character
this?
development.
I'm not complaining, but it just seemed like, what's going on here?
James Badge Dale in like package clinging shorts, dragging a giant tire over his shoulders, and grunting. We should mention also, this is really strange, at least before our screening, we saw it at Paramount.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if we're going to do this everywhere all the time, but we had like a making of featurette that played before the actual movie, and it's like 13 hours, the men behind the movie or whatever, and it's the real guys saying, "Hi, I'm Oz. Hi, I'm Tig. Here's what happened." And we really wanted to get the story told right this time, and it's not about politics. And I wonder, please let us know if you guys go see 13 Hours at your multiplex in your town.
Are they showing that
they
featurette
showing
first?
this beforehand?
That seemed like a weird kind of like hedging their bet or making sure that we knew, or I don't know.
Over-explaining for no reason.
At first I thought, wow, the movie's just starting. Like, we're not even getting the Paramount logo. What a bold choice. Oh, no, this is a trailer for the movie you're about to show us, which, they never do a press screening.
It's propaganda for the propaganda. It was really strange. So please let us know if they're showing this in your town like that, too. So what is your number, please?
I give it a 4. It's, there are moments of it that are visually coherent and that have some excitement, but you're right, it's repetitive and numbing, and the characters are so like good guys, everyone else sucks. I'm not into it.
Right, I'm giving it a 5 just from the production standpoint. So our average is a 4.5, and if Matt were here, he would tell you it's at 57% on the tomato meter, and that seems high.
We're early in the wave of reviews.
Yes.
We'll see how it goes.
All
this
right,
weekend.
so let us know how it goes when you guys see it. Bye.